So this is just a quick fill-in for just to put everyone on the same page so we all know.
Yes, stand behind the lectern.
Okay, I can't actually see that. Oh, that's the problem. Okay, so act the bees, here we are. So these are obviously the bees that we all know about, the honeybees, and they're really important for pollination. There's up to 60,000 in a hive, and they are obviously introduced. We've got many native bees, Australian native bees, and speaking to Peter Abbott, who has been researching native bees in the Botanic Gardens. Put up your hand if you think there's around 20. 20 Australian native bees in the Botanic Garden. Put up your hand. More? Less? More. Okay. 50? Hands? Around 50?
200?
150? 150? Yeah, 150. 150 different species of native bees in our native Australian Botanic Gardens. Isn't that amazing? Possibly 200. I mean, they're still looking. So these are basically the most commonly found bees that they're in the Botanic Gardens. That's sort of a cheat sheet that Peter's developed. We've got them over on our, and you know, there's a website. So all sorts of different ones, little tiny blue-green bees, big buzzy blue-banded bees, which are buzz pollinators, spring bees, cuckoo bees that actually are the blue-banded bee is the host, so actually the cuckoo bee lays their eggs in the blue-banded bee's nests. Mask bees, leaf-cutter bees, probably see those in your gardens. Most of these bees are solitary, live in the ground. So there's just one or maybe a small colony, not many, nothing compared to big honeybees. And big honeybees are big compared to most bees. So there's a real fragility about the Australian native bees that we're really learning about. I mean, most of us know honeybees and we just are learning what the Australian native bees are and that we've actually got bees. So this is part of our journey for me as Act for Bees because, you know, I'm definitely learning. This is a life with pollinators. Really bees, this is without. So these are wind pollinated. Just let me show that, oh, sorry. Right, go back. I'm just going to show you that again because that is our most nutritious food. And many of those are 100% dependent on a pollinator to make sure that they're pollinated. And this is what happens if they're not properly pollinated. If there isn't a certain volume of pollinators in the ecosystem, it means that the fruit or vegetable isn't big enough, it isn't saleable, it's actually, in a way, not worth it for a farmer. So, inadequate pollination. Now, it's not only our food, it's food in, this is our local ecosystem, sun moth, all sorts of different black cockatoos, including plants, tea trees, banksias, all sorts of our local plants need pollinators. This is what happens when we start to reduce the number of pollinators. The ecosystem starts to unwind. And there isn't, you know, it's just all those interrelationships. Obviously climate change, increasing urbanisation. Climate change is a really big threat, but this is what we're here for, is to really look, habitat loss, pesticides, and we're really grateful the ACT government has taken up these systemic pesticides, basically most of them, very little, only for basically the elm tree beetle, injections for heritage listed plants. Doesn't mean the private operators aren't doing it, the government is. The government's leading. So these are pesticides that actually Bunnings have been amazing in taking off the shelf in 2017, total surprise. That led the whole of industry to actually change. Woolworths, Coles had to follow. This is our website, Gardening for Bees, bee-friendly garden, lots and lots of resources worth looking at. And it's also got the different colours that different pollinators like. So it's really, you know, bees and like blue, purples, whites, yellows. And then we've got the birds, particularly drawn to reds. Bees are not the only pollinators, butterflies, birds. Just wanted to put this in. The mid-story is really crucial, and also the ground covers. That's where I see lots and lots of native bees. They're in the Wildbergia, the the native daisies, the paper daisies, also the moths. We need the middle story for the small birds and the insects, because the insects feed the nestlings of the birds kilograms. Those new baby birds need lots of insects. Rachel's going to talk about the government planting this. This is a great thing developed by ANU, but also it's about on farms. That's also a resource on our website. Bee hotels, I just wanted to draw your attention that the size of the bee hotel is crucial, the depth of the hole, because the female bees lay the female eggs first, and then they put the males at the end. And if that cavity isn't deep enough, they actually don't have the males. That's what we understand. So there's just about all the bee hotels on the market are useless and really actually bad for ecology. So we're working on that. This is great resources by Michael Fox, Pollinator Link from Brisbane, especially come down for this again on our website. And this is what we can do, and that's what we're here for. So that's okay.